We grew a business from 300,000 euros to like 4 or 5 million a year. We work for 7, 8 months for around 18 hours a day.
I think in every 5-6 years, I've seen a paradigm shift in SEO.
The mindset hasn't changed a lot for the last 7, 8 years.
Now the SEO is becoming smarter SEO.
The search is changing from curious to conversational curious. I have grown websites from 0 to like 300 clicks a day. It makes 2 million a year.
The traditional SEO will stay. The AI SEO will be a topping on the cake.
If you know how to search, this is nothing new. We get two really big financial crises. Here we are and we survive.
Google had this AI LLM model since a lot of years. That is how it was ranking the websites.
They tried to steal this kind of thing.
Google had it but did not launch it.
I will not try to train people who are not ready to be trained.
I used to say yes to anything because I was trying to make the revenue out of things.
It doesn't work that way. I reject like 9 out of 10 people.
It is actually hampering your SEO.
Okay, you have your opinion, keep your opinion. I will not try to change that.
Hey Harry, how are you? And welcome to my show. It's a delight having you. We met in last year in November, I think, and we became very close. I had good time with you. Welcome to my show, Harry, and it's a delight having you. How are you? And tell the audience about yourself.
Hello, Gundeep. I'm Koray. Excited to be here with you. Yeah, as you said, we met in Chiang Mai between drinks and cigars. Yeah, and happy to be here.
I think that was the best time when the networking happened. We over drinks, we were really having a good time, and I think we really exchanged good energies, and here we are together on a podcast. So let's start with the backstory, Harry, because the audience may not know who Harry is and from where you come. So let's start with the backstory. Can you tell me and the audience about yourself, what you do, where you live, and what kind of life you're leading, and what's your business side of the life as well?
Okay, so I live in Crete Island, in Greece. It's actually the biggest island in Greece. I run a travel business for the last a family business for like 50 years now.
Okay.
I do all the digital things that has to go with the business. I do the SEO, I do the design, I do the coding, I do everything related to that. It's I do the SEO for like more than 25 years now, 22,
Oh my
23
God.
years. Yeah, since Yahoo, I can understand if you all can understand.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And that's it. We work like for 7, 8 months for around 18 hours a day to run the business and to operate the whole processes behind that. I mean, digital side and also business side. I have to be honest, I don't do much things on the operation of the travel business. I mean, that's my brother who does this. And I do all the marketing, which takes most of the time, and partnerships. That's it. On the side, I do a lot of SEO work. I have a few clients, okay, around 8, 9 clients on and off. That I do the SEO, the strategy, and uh, the same things that I do for my business, I do it also for them.
Okay. Amazing. So now let's talk about SEO, right? So you said that you've been doing SEO since 25 years from the time of Yahoo. When I was, I think, a small kid. I'm 32, so I used to do Yahoo searches. I luckily got internet access quite early, comparatively what we get in usual families in India. Not today, but those days. So I used to understand what search is, what these things are at a very young age. I'm from the age of Orkut, if you remember, right? So I think since that time you've been doing SEO, what I can imagine, right? So Can you tell me how has this changed to now? Just a very short version of how things are moved, and now what is SEO right now, and what have you been doing into it?
Okay, so it all started for the business need, the drive of improving the business and get more clients, get more leads for the current business. So this became a part of the curiosity of how to bring people,
Mhm.
clients to your business from this channel, from the online channel. And I can tell we used to use like dial-up connections back then,
Mhm.
nothing fancy as it is right now, nothing interesting or fast as it is right now. So what I tried to do is like trying to put my business on the online map 25 years ago. And this is how we grew a business from 300,000 euros to like 4 or 5 million a year. So this is actually where one of the first companies in Greece that we did that,
Wow.
like focusing on the online visibility back then. So this is like more of the personality type that you are, like being curious and being creative,
Mhm.
and that actually were printed like 25 years ago. So, and this grew
Wow.
up the same way. Um,
Mhm.
the same as SEO changed, like
Mhm.
everything changes. Even Greece changed from
Mhm.
25 years ago to now, where we are now. We get two really big financial crises on the island, but
Mhm.
here we are in Greece, so
Mhm.
here we are and we survive. But yeah, it's like I'm I really believe that in business you don't play the actual idea, you play the people behind the idea. If
Mhm.
they stop working on the plan, or how they shift the plan based of the circumstances and based of the um, background, it's always the people who manage to get you out of it. The
Very.
same goes to if you try to put that on the SEO world as well. Again, it's the people who are going to um, bring you on top, or never stop working on bringing you on top. That's my idea on the business and SEO side.
Wow. Very well said. Very well said. A lot of questions now. Okay.
And
So I think you said it very nicely that the people who are curious, people who actually think the reasons behind what is happening and how is happening are the right people to enter into the SEO industry, right? Since 25 years, it might have changed a lot. Let's talk about today's SEO now. So one thing I am looking at, which I must question you this, and I must have to really bring this up, is right now the AI SEO, which is coming up. And I think I'm not sure, but I want your expertise here. That is why I think that's the main core focus. The semantic SEO and the AI SEO. So these are the new terms which we are thinking of, or which is coming up. So I think in every 5 6 years, I've seen a paradigm shift in SEO since I've started. It's I think it's 15 years I've been doing SEO, not as old as you, obviously, but yes, I think 13, 14, 15 years. What I can assume. So I've seen 3 4 years there's a shift. There's more cleanliness to it. There's more rules to it. There's more openness to it. So now the things are changing. So now the SEO is becoming smarter SEO, what I believe. This is my thought process. But I think the foundations are still there. The foundational SEO, the semantic SEO, the topical SEO, which I think you are an expert on. So all these things are still there, and the what foundations and what new technologies we're talking about, which is AI SEO, which is all these things. I think these are building up on these things. This is my assumption. Am I right? What do you have to say on this?
everything changed, not now. Everything changed, when Google tried to rank entities, try to rank topics, semantic topics, or businesses rather than queries, and now they're trying query networks, and they got access to a lot of tools like
Mm.
Chrome, and studying the pattern and the behavior of the users. So that is what was the whole purpose initially for them. So I think the mindset hasn't changed a lot for the last 7, 8 years. They only got more exposure, like because ChatGPT came along, and so they try to mimic that. So they devoted some part of the selves to that LLM that will bring questions. That is like
Correct.
the search is changing from curious to conversational curious. So I've been doing that for like 2, 3 years already, asking, longer questions like isolating with quotes, entities, and how the pair of entities are connected, with operators, and specifically on websites with site operators. So if you know how to search, if you train your brain how to search, this is nothing new for me. It's new for many people, for like people who, were like basic, I would say. It's actually,
New SEOs, maybe surface level.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
somebody like marketing people who saw some growth in organic and say, let's
Correct.
explore that. So that's more the right term for that. So for me, this didn't change. We always approached Google as an LLM. So people didn't know that, okay, that there is we used to call them algorithm, we used to call them different terms, but there was still an LLM, like Scraper, an LLM that you feed data and try to get the right output. They have different type of algorithms, different types of LLMs, and now we have a few of them from other competitors, but now it's still the same. Gemini is one of them.
Correct.
They used to have access to that, in Teams behind Google to get some metrics like specific things. But now this conversational thing is more like a trending thing. I don't know. Nobody knows yet how this will go, because if you consider like 2 years ago, you could actually talk to a machine and get to talk to a computer, to talk to an LLM and get that back. This is like a thing that we don't know how it will evolve. If this conversational thing will stick, they don't know. Also, Google doesn't know. They actually gather data now where it is better and how people interact. If it's positive, if it's negative, if it affects their revenue, like ads. If it's, as you see, they are testing different positions where they put the AI mode and the snippet up high before the ads, after the ads, within the ads. You never know. They are still testing that, and I think they will get like more than a year to test this kind of thing. And actually, they have the means to do what they need to do in order not to affect the revenue, because their revenue, that's the most important thing. At the end of the day, for all the business, is how much every decision affects the revenue. And that's the most important thing for every business.
Got it. Amazing. So one thing which you touched is a very crucial thing which you touched here is that the queries are now converted to conversational queries. I think this is something which is a very underrated thing, and people are not talking about it much. But I think this is something we should discuss. Like I have a point that I was reading somewhere. I don't know how correct is that. Like on the conversational queries, like the long questions are increasing now. Like 2 years ago, it was a very short search. Like, for example, you have a car rental business. So you maybe someone gets car rental near me. So that was the thing which we used to do. I mean, still, it is the thing we're doing in Google right now, right? But now, as the technology has evolved, as the LLMs have evolved, so now it is possible to actually ask a proper question and get the answer back. 2 years ago, if we asked a long question, for example, which is the best car rental where I can get a silver Porsche, right? For example, a question. So Google would give the standard answers. Like obviously they would have their algorithmic system and then the things are, but right now they're able to maybe answer better with the AI overviews. So 35% of the queries I have read that are coming into the AI overviews queries, like means that now people are asking more questions because the LLM can answer it. The Google can answer it now, right? That's one. Just give the honest opinion on my opinion. According to my opinion, I think the AI SEO or SEO is going in a direction which is the new way of doing things. It is, as you said, it is still going there. It's not there. But I think the traditional SEO will stay. The AI SEO will be a topping on the cake, where basically like we talk about chat GPT. Like for example, me, I'm using Perplexity for most of my real-time searches when I have to scan Reddit and find out what was the review of this product or something. When I don't want to go to the threads, I just want to ask Perplexity. So smart searches are changing. People like you and me are actually saving time on searches as well. It's, I think it's long gone the time when we used to scan websites and find out what we need to do. It's more quicker now. So things are going there. Things are going towards smarter ways of doing search. And I think the shift is also happening. Like people like you, people like me, people like us, the community, smarter old people are actually way ahead. What I'm believing is when I even talking to you, like you said, you always treated Google as an LLM. And I think that's the fair point. I was listening to a podcast. So he was, the guy was saying he's called the father of AI. So he's saying that he's worked in Google since 10 years. He's saying that Google had this AI LLM model since a lot of years. That is how it was ranking the websites. But they had a reputation at stake. So they were not the first to launch it because there's a reputation involved in launching an AI model to the public. ChatGPT was new, OpenAI was new, so they did not have a reputation, they did not have anything on stake. So basically, they took that risk and launched an OpenAI first model, right? So Google had it, but did not launch it. So that's one way of saying it. The second way is that yes, then they saw the ChatGPT has come, and then they saw that we are left behind. So let's do it ourselves. You see, Gemini when initially came was not a very good engine. Now I think it's picking up. And the smarter thing is that they have data. So they have data. Google has a lot of data, a lot of search engine data. So they've done a smart move that search engine data and our AI model can, and then the AI overviews and AI SEO is, I think, coming up. This is my understanding of things, which this is my brain dump, what I just said. What do you have to say about, do you have anything to, which I'm saying wrong? Maybe you can correct me.
So let's take it backwards. I will answer your last question first, and then we go. That's why I got some notes here. So
Yeah.
OpenAI is a business, okay? So they don't try to monetize. They don't have a list of results that they want to monetize. They don't have users to monetize this kind. So that's why they have the subscription. Okay, small fee, big fee. It's not. We are not going to discuss this one. So OpenAI launched this conversational thing, the ChatGPT. So if you compare that with Google, with Gemini, it's a complete different model. Okay, so that's why they didn't launch this Gemini model before. They had it only for internal use and for specific. Okay. So now we have a very, very successful business model for Google that they try to monetize everything, most importantly the ads within the users. So they want to be helpful, but okay, we need to make money. So we have the 4 spots up. It used to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I don't know, it's maybe 5, or with it also the GMBs everywhere, top, bottom. So they have a very good business model. So why to disrupt this business model with any conversational mode? Okay, so why? Now OpenAI comes along and they bring something new, something that affects how users interact with search engines or any informational queries, right? So I need to find more information. So they find out that ChatGPT is being actually helpful with whatever that means. So they say, okay, they try to steal this kind of thing, so we should do also this kind of thing. because that affected the user behavior on how to get information. That's why they then release, and now they're still testing. It will take, again, as I told you, like more than a year to get the right data. How this also, you cannot play with how users interact. They can play in a specific, like if you give people options, they decide more things, they think more things. So if you had like 10 listings and ads, okay, that's how user interact. If you give them more options, they will may decide more things. That's why the queries became longer, because people actually got information and actually get like, if in my mind I wanted to rent a car, silver Porsche you mentioned before, okay,
Correct.
and who would have thought 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that I can be so specific to my query? Okay, the furthest you could go is like even getting a cabriolet, or like a convertible, or getting a Porsche, the brand directly. Now that you have the ability to search for the color or for this kind of thing, you know that, okay, I can go deep. So people actually go deep to be more. That's why it will save time for me, rather than finding a car rental, finding a Porsche, and then go through the listing. So AI is doing it for them. So if you give people options, they will go wild with them, with that. That's why design affects a lot of things. Okay, how the options affect the decision. The expectations of the users change, because the customer satisfaction is a crucial thing for both Google and both OpenAI. I don't know. It's still early to say how OpenAI is going to make a shitload of money. Okay, because this is kind of a thing that is emerging, but they get users, but I don't think they make so much money as Google does at this point.
Got it.
Again, one more thing about this silver Porsche. Google did not have indexes back there about silver Porsche, because people did not search about them.
Yes.
Okay, so if this long queries or long questions coming on the serves, coming on the data, Google will need to create indexes for that. Okay, and if there are enough search demand and also enough results, if they have search demand, they create the index in order to have the customer satisfaction, the user satisfaction higher. If not, they go to the nearest index, like the Porsche, or just the location where you're actually looking for this current. So this is semantics. If a page covers Porsche or any similar luxury brand, they will rank this thing. That's how semantics work.
So you beautifully actually explained the AI SEO and the things which are coming up, and created the bridge between that and the semantic SEO, and that's the next big thing we're going to talk about. Let's talk about the semantic SEO more. Can you explain that what is semantic SEO? You've been doing it since a long time. You can explain how semantics work, how it is in today's time when we are in mid 2025, right? So how it is relevant in today's time, how it has been, and maybe a little bit about semantic SEO you can explain more to the audience.
Semantic SEO is like the evolution of traditional SEO. We're moving away from queries, from keywords, to ranking entities, businesses, and topics. Koray created the semantic SEO framework, so it gave us like a guidebook how you can leverage this kind of some techniques that you can actually leverage the algorithm, the changes of the algorithm, to actually improve your visibility. It's not traditional SEO. That's why he called it holistic. Okay, because it's not just on page. It's off page. It's links. It's technical SEO, which is a very, very fundamental thing. Okay, this IR, informational retrieval leverage that
Hmm.
it's very, very important, because it's okay if you build an amazing villa at the end of nowhere, but nobody will actually see. Okay.
Correct.
If there is not a road
Hmm.
to get there and people see, okay.
Hmm.
And if you actually, I consider like the road for Google to get there and bring you the visibility so everybody can see it. Okay.
Hmm.
So if you are able to leverage these kind of things to print them on a website and print them in a very efficient way, that's what I call holistic SEO, semantic SEO, whatever. Again, it's
Hmm.
topics, and how
Hmm.
the perspective, the scope you give to the entities, and based of the business you try to rank behind that. Uh,
Hmm.
it's unique, and from any business type that you do, and from any business attributes that you need to print on every page, on every node, on every topic, on every website, is unique, and you actually can do that. You can build topical maps in different, in similar businesses, like
Hmm.
in the same niche, let's call it,
Hmm. Hmm.
but nobody can understand that it's actually the same topical map. Okay,
Hmm.
only an expert in semantics can actually see that. Okay, this is the exact same thing. It changes the outer section. It's changing the way you monetize. And at the end, my mindset is how you can make money out of it.
Hmm.
It's people. It's things that people don't understand. You can have like a very, very amazing website that has millions of visits every day, but you don't make any money of it. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
how I have seen websites, I have grown websites from zero to like 300 clicks a day. And it's actually making, with these 300 clicks, it makes 2 million a year.
Wow.
But I have seen websites that have 5,000 clicks a day and make like 300
Hmm.
euros a year.
Wow.
Okay. So the way you monetize things is the unique factor here. And actually, uh, Koray printed that also to the framework, show it to the framework, as call it as the source context, how this
Hmm.
business makes money, and also how to build the semantics of this on this section,
Hmm.
that will give you like broader,
Hmm.
um, to expand the meaning of your business to different topics that will actually can be grouped similarly on the LLM.
So before moving forward, I must tell the audience that now we are going to discuss a lot about Koray's framework, holistic SEO, and
Mm-hmm.
in-depth semantic SEO. And I must tell you that this bit of the podcast is not in any way sponsored by Koray. It is actually genuinely I wanted to understand in depth that what is the hype about, why it is too much of a hype after a very long, like it's been 2.5 3 years, I think I've been hearing about Core's framework and the semantic SEO in detail. I've also done it, I've understood it, we've implemented it, but here are the experts with me who've done it in a better way than actually I have done. I've just started out in semantic SEO, like it's just 1 year. I think in 1 year in SEO is nothing, if you may know. And I also wanted to also mention here is that semantic SEO is something which is going to be relevant after even 10 years from today, because this is a framework. This is, I think, a way of thinking more, which is making the way the AI, the algorithms, the way the crawlers, way the LLM models understand. So this is not going to get irrelevant. Either AI SEO is the next big thing or whatever. So this is the base of it, what I understand. So it is very important to cover semantics SEO first before moving to anything else, what I believe. So let's start about semantics SEO and discuss that with Mr. Harry, because he's the expert here. And it's we've done podcast with Core, right? But it's better to understand from someone who's actually implemented it, what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right, Harry? Is that the right way of doing it? So it's going to be the right test right now. We actually want to test out, we want to discuss, we want to tear that apart, understand more from you, right? So let's understand that more. So you've given the definition to it, right? So let's talk about the biggest misconceptions about topical maps or semantic SEO, which you think people have. Any misconceptions you can tell me?
Okay, people think that a topical map is actually a sitemap, and that's really wrong. Okay, even when we make topical maps, okay, um, I consider like creating an encyclopedia with different books, with different topics. And actually, the one who makes that is a really rule of mine. That the one who actually creates the topical map should be the one who will be creating the briefs for each node of the topical map, for each
Okay.
page, let's call it. Okay. So because this is the one who actually studied and made the research of the topics, and is the one who knows what exactly means. There is not like a tool, a 3D tool to actually bring your mind
Correct.
in this thing. At least the one that I find. I have researched about this kind of tool. And I have discussed this kind of thing with a lot of people. And actually, that's why you cannot automate the topical map. You can automate some things on the topical map, but not the entire thing, like the equality thing. So yeah, the biggest misconception is that it's not a sitemap, or like I will open this kind of pages and I will try to rank these topics on this page, on this page. It's the way you connect each topic to each other and how they all come back to the source context, how the people are, the website, the business is making money out of it. So that's how I said before, the way you connect things is more important of how many pages you open and why you open this page. Again, this also is connected with the IR, with the information retriever, and if you have search demand on different topics, that will affect the topical map. Okay, that's largely connected, the search volume to the topical map. And if somebody actually understands this if you open pages now nobody is searching for, this is a burden to the website. It's things that brings you down. So you either try to manipulate things on page, like I need to have this kind of information, but I don't want to open a page for that. So you need to create and find a way to inject this piece of information to query networks, or topics that have search demand. If you manage to do this, I mean, that's how the encyclopedia, the knowledge domain works. This is how you print the topical maps.
Amazing. So I'll ease this down for the audience. So the two misconceptions I think you talked about topical maps is the one that people think that it's a site map and you can just automate it and whatever. It is not like that. It's much more depth. It's not even near to just a site map. It's too much detail. It's too much mapped out, and it has to be done manually. Some parts of it can be automated. Some part, the research part maybe can be automated on a separate level, and then we have to actually manually map down, and expert has to do it. The second misconception I think you're talking about is that it's not like that we understood how to make a topical map and we put every topic down and we just put it in there and make a topical map. No, we have to put the topics which actually have search demand. If we put pages which do not have any kind of search demand, or it's just empty load on the website, it is actually hampering your SEO, because ghost pages with no traffic is actually not good for the website, right? So the topical map is not just mapping out every related topic and putting in the website. Actually, topics with search demand is there. I think that's the second misconception you talked about. Am I right?
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
Perfect. All right, time for a sponsor break. This episode is proudly sponsored by Kings Digital, the marketing agency that I, your host, Gundeep Singh, co-founded. At Kings Digital, we specialize into scaling businesses, optimizing growth strategies, and turning your ideas into brands that people can't stop talking about. You might be thinking self-promotion in your own podcast. Well, that's quite bold. That's because that's exactly what we do for our client. bold strategies that bring results. So if you're a business owner or an agency wants to level up your marketing, your processes, whether it's SEO, ads, social media, performance marketing, we're building a killer brand presence for you. If you want us to audit your website or your ads campaign, just fill up the form below. We will get back to you with a full-blown SEO audit, a complete 6 to 12 months SEO roadmap tailored to your business, and a step-by-step video walkthrough breaking down exactly how to fix and scale your organic traffic. This isn't some cookie-cutter checklist. Trust me, our team spends an entire day crafting this report. Trust me, if we're good enough to sponsor ourselves, we're probably good enough to help you crush your goals. Alright, that's enough of us now. Now let's get back to the show. Where do the most SEOs go wrong when they talk about the topical authority? Where do they go wrong? Maybe someone who's actually learning, where's the mistake happening?
I can tell you that once the community, the Facebook community we have with Koray, there is with Koray, is both the private and the public one. I stopped caring about what people think about that. I mean, it's too much. It's too much for me now. I hear a lot of people considering like topical authorities this, topical authorities that, topical. So it's easier for me not to care about that, and actually start thinking of explaining the whole thing. It's too much work for people who already have an opinion for that. And that in general is my mindset in even businesses. I will not try to train people who are not ready to be trained. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
I prefer to distance myself with whatever that means and say, okay, you have your opinion, keep your opinion. I will not try to change that. But in general, topical authority is like websites that have been helping people for quite a long time, and they have like a high satisfaction rate for what actually Google thinks and the users think. You try to bring something fresh in order to steal the topical authority for another website that is already ranking, takes a lot of time and takes a lot of different approaches. One could be like creating a unique angle, covering more topics, or another could be like try to directly hit this website, not black hat. I mean, try to identify what are the pain points, that what topics or like subtopics this website does not cover well, that you could leverage that. And once you do that and do it subtopic every time, iterate and get small wins on different indexes on from this website, and slowly you scaling the topical authority of this website. If the website is very big, you understand that this is very difficult. Also, you need at least 2 broad core algorithm updates to establish the topical authority, to get the positive ranking state and actually gain that and be considered as a possible candidate to steal the topical authority from your major competitor or whatever. Could be different source context business. That's kind of difficult because this is very important for Google. But perhaps for an index, you might not chase number 1, number 2, number 3. You may chase for number 8. Okay, you may chase for number 10 because you have similar source context. So you can go from like page 100 to spot number 5 because that's the same source context, and you're actually after this one. Google preserves some spots on the index for different source content to provide variety of search results. That's what is topical authority, at least in my scope.
Oh, amazing, amazing. See, I talk a lot about the scaling, the processes. So that's my favorite topic to touch on. Either it's what kind of podcast we're doing. So this is the bit I really like to work on. So now let's talk about your personal workflow. How do you process information in your mind when you maybe get a project, or maybe when you're working on some kind of uh, new wing to the thing. So what is your bit of doing it? About how do you scale? How do you think? Let's start with how do you think? You get a brief. What do you do? The first thing.
It all starts with my mentality of doing business and doing SEO. So let's say somebody approaches me in order to work together on his project. I reject like 9 out of 10 people,
Okay.
because there are certain type of people that I want to work with. Um,
Okay.
and I think that everybody should do,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
later on you will see this type of things uh, printed to the corporation. So I work either with people who have no idea what SEO or what
Hmm.
uh, we do, or I prefer the advanced people. Anything between means that I need to spend time to educate the customer on what we do and how we do it, the client.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, and this
Wow.
is really, really tiring for
Hmm.
both for me and both for the other person.
Hmm.
And I prefer spending time working for your website rather
Hmm.
educating you about your website.
I have
Yeah.
something to say on this. You've touched a very important point of the things. I'll be honest with you. When we started out, I think in 2018, I started this agency. So at that point, and since till 2021, I was the like a person who's just opposite. Like I used to pick any client. I used to say yes to anything because I was trying to make the revenue out of things. Then in 2022, I realized this is the biggest mistake I've been doing. Selecting clients and saying no to the clients whom you don't want to work with, I think is the best thing, because you are more focused to what you want to do. And this this I recently learned, what you just said. Either you work with a very advanced client because it's a very good conversation you have when you discuss, it's a very productive conversation, or you work with someone who just is like, you just do whatever you do and I don't care, you just do it, right? We in our terms, which is a noob client who doesn't, and who don't wants to know, and he's a chilled out guy, he just wants to see the results and that's it. The client which is in between, who have half knowledge, half knowledge is dangerous, we all say that, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
uh, that is the most toxic, I think, a client or kind of client you can have, who has limited knowledge, who thinks he has a lot of knowledge but he doesn't have, and then we are educating him rather than working with the client. So that's the place I have been there. And this is, we recently learned this, like last year we figured this out, either this or this. You made it very clear, I think, and I think that is why I repeated this, because this is a very important bit for people to understand, that if you're into client SEO, if you're into like a joint venture with someone, maybe. So these are the things you should consider: working with whom and working not. This is a very important part. I think you've put it beautifully here. Thank you so much for this. Let's talk about the problems we solve with semantic SEO. You want to talk about that?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they're not problems to solve. You're actually trying to get more leads, more clients, right? With
Very
SEO,
simple.
but like traditional SEO. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, problems is that if you don't have the clients, your business will not survive, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
yeah, right.
Okay. Okay. Well said. Okay. Very simple. Very simple. Okay.
Again, after I meet the client and say, okay, let's talk about if this is a good match of what
Mm,
do you know about what I am doing, and
mm,
how you want this to process. And then I say, this is a part of the business side of me who is actually trying to understand the client. Um,
mm,
People who come to you have a specific uh, budget in mind and specific target in mind. Target for me is more important than the budget. Okay.
mm,
Because, okay, we have a budget. We just say we need to allocate this budget to this,
mm,
this, and this. But what is the expectations of the target of the client is more important to me as well. Let's say I have a lot of people again in the travel industry who say the capacity of the business, the capacity of how much
mm,
money I make, and if I grow my organic visitors, my traffic, 200%, let's call it, how much money I will make. So
mm,
if this difference makes sense both to me and both to him, I would say, okay, let's do it.
Mm.
So if the business is able to capitalize the growth of the organic revenue, of the organic growth, okay, if they are able as a business to capitalize that,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm all in. But most businesses are not ready for the growth that we will provide to your business, the visitors that we will bring to you, the clients that
Oh.
will bring to your business. So unless this makes really sense to you, to the client, this will not, we are not a good match. I will be happily suggest you to do ads, find a good ads agency, Facebook ads, Google ads, and do this, because you don't really need to invest that much money in semantic SEO. Semantic SEO is not cheap. You need a lot of
Yeah.
hands working for you.
Mm.
It's not cheap because it needs a lot of work for many, many people behind on the team. That's why I believe it's an expensive framework, because it requires, again, a lot of people doing a lot of things for your brand,
Mm.
for your client. So
Correct.
if you are going to invest in this thing, the plan
Mm.
will be big, and it will take a lot of time. The growth will be huge.
Mm.
So you should be able to capitalize that as a business. Otherwise, you're just spending money on anything, on something that you will not be able to prove the value of it. Um,
Got.
again, this is, I don't know, maybe it's the honest thing to like to reject the client. Don't do this because I do it because I am in house. If another similar business comes to me and say, okay, we need to do this, I might reject. I mean, in the numbers, I may reject it because, okay, you got to pay. I don't have to pay myself. Okay. I count the hours that I work as well for my business. But again, it's my business. The growth I will get from this is, I know the growth that I can get. Also,
Mm.
another thing is, if you take a small business as a client, you see, okay, where do you see yourself in like 1, 2 years? Do you plan to grow as a business? As again,
Mm.
maybe open another station, another store, another something like this, so you can capitalize the growth of the business. If see, okay, no, I don't want, then maybe this framework is not for you. It's again a business decision that you need to make, the client needs to make. And when it comes to business decision should affect the topical map, should affect the SEO, and the other way around. You should be flexible on business decision because you saw some growth, like when the data comes in after a few months. Again, this is how it's coming back to the educating the client and say, okay, this is what you have to do because has the topical authority is doing already. If you can fake it for a limited period of time, but at the end of the day, you need to do it as well. We can
Mm.
do fake things for a limited period of time,
Mm.
but at the end, you need actually to implement, and the businessman, the client, needs to be open to that.
Yes, I think that's the most important bit you just said. And
Mm-hmm.
let's break this down. If we want to calculate the cost of doing semantic SEO, this is for the audience. What is the cost of doing semantic SEO? So, and break down, like there are many elements to this. R&D research to hire a person like you, me, someone like that, a person. Then the cost of content, I think, is the maximum cost which we are incurring here, right? Because this is content driven. Let's not go into the details of the cost. Let's break down how where the cost is split. Like if this is 100 number, so 60% goes to what, 20% goes to what, and so you can just tell me the split of the cost divided in semantic SEO. That will be good for the audience.
The way that I evaluate this kind of things is like, uh, if you consider the amount of work you need to spend initially to create the topical map and create the briefs and actually create the processes, so
Mm.
everything works without bottlenecks on the procedure. So I usually require 1 year of a contract, and I get
Mm.
40 to 50% of the yearly contract the first 3 months, because the first 3 months are the most crucial. Okay, because we need the topical map, we need the possible expansions of the topical map, we need the briefs, we need to build to the writers to work initially good. Initially a lot, because you need to create the topic bank, the content bank. Okay, so we need to have at least 50 on the side, 50 pieces, let's say 50 nodes, content, 50 pieces of content that need to exist there before you start posting. Depending how big is your topical map, of course. Okay, but again, nothing should disrupt your content, your publishing frequency. So having a big topic bank will make sense to you. It will make sense to preserve this the content posting velocity and the frequency. So because this is also planned out. Again, topics should be covered in a specific way and specific period of time. So that's what I can tell you. Most of it. Let's say if you have a 100,000 euros contract yearly, you should get at least 40,000 within the first 3 months. Then you just split the rest equally on the monthly base. Again, what I do also is like while producing the content, we have like a fixed rate that we have like either X amount of briefs or until a maximum amount of words is met. We don't really count, because for me, it's more important how this to preserve the website growth rather than counting words. For me, it's really not important. But at the end of the day, you need on the month 3 to 4, you need to have all the processes ready. So the project work itself. So we have a person, me or whoever that is, to create the briefs, the right amount of briefs, and the writers get the briefs on time so they can deliver until the next month and then deliver to the client. And we need to preserve also that the client actually posts whatever we say. Okay. Again, you can actually do it for them, but I will say not trying to get involved in that procedure.
Very good. You've broken down the whole timeline in a very good way. I think you've answered a very important point, that how is the timeline of an SEO process done. And I think you've beautifully said that the first 3 months are the most crucial, if I'm repeating. And these are this is the time you do a 1 year contract, because we as an agency, we want to be on the safer side, because we're doing everything in the first 3 months mostly, right? So the 40-50% things are done in the first 3 months, planning the topical maps, giving the briefs to the writers, possible topical expansions you're doing. So everything is planned out, mapped out, and then and it's a very good thing you just said, that you do not think about the number of words. It's when it comes to topical SEO, these things are like, I call it like in war, these are collateral damage. So it's like you have to just throw content like anything to get the successful topical map out there, right? So if we start counting these things in a very in a way that it is very much calculated, which we at a point we must do. But I think you have to be more generous. What you're trying to say, that we have to be more generous, more open to deliver the content and stuff. And also one important thing, that yes, the client has to publish or get these things up on the website on a very timely fashion, the way you decided, where the architect of the topical map, topical SEO decides. Am I right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect.
One more thing, that is a good tip for everybody who is doing semantic SEO. Like after 6 months, maybe even less, once everything is posted, or like when you start posting, there should be a procedure of like the content configuration. So instead of actually giving 10 briefs to 20, 30 briefs, you should put a part of it that devote some time to do the content configuration, because that shows responsiveness to the information that of the search volumes and what actually Google is printing is trying to rank, and you should adjust your content accordingly.
Okay.
That's what I do as well. Like you have a promise 30 briefs, 30 pieces of content, and like 15 or 10 of them should be content configuration. If this is not met, we do new content. Depending, again, this is depending how big your topical map is. But again, people post things and do not care later about how, if that's good or bad, or evaluation. It's a process that I'm really careful on with, because I do it on my website.
So you're talking about that, to make it very clear to the audience. So he's talking about that we need to go back, see what we posted like 6 months ago. Is it getting outdated? Is it the fresh and the perfect content still? Is it still relevant? If not, improve it, improvise it, fix it. So let's say out of 30, 10, 15, like 20, 30, 40, 50% even, just go back, fix it. And I think that is a common sense. That is making sense, right?
70-30. But it's not, nobody, if you don't have sys data of the project that you're working on, probably you will have some, but not the whole thing, not the whole topic coverage that you should have initially. But everybody's doing mistakes on a brief, okay, because you maybe don't know the topic that well. So adjusting even the order, or like bringing content, bringing topics from topic coverage from the macro, from the outer section to the main section, is again change. Okay, or like AI overviews now, or before each snippets. You cannot imagine how important is like getting the rich snippet by just changing a sentence position in a paragraph. Okay,
Correct.
and if the client is ready to monetize this kind of thing, again, bring more value to a page and bring more traffic to a page. This page converts X amount of conversions, right? And we made this money about one simple thing. That's why content configuration is very important. Even
Wow.
design decisions that affect conversion are also really important. I do that as well as a passion rather than making money.
Yes. So I think we should touch this topic now. This is the right time to discuss about the design, the CRO part of things, because as per the conversation between us is growing, it is the way the conversation is maturing right now. I have seen that you've been quite emphasizing on the design part of the things. And I think most of the SEOs, I repeat, most of the agencies, most of the SEOs, and even clients do not give a lot of value to design. So there are two types of people we've seen. One who are too much into the design and they forget SEO, and one is too much into the SEO and forget the design. But there's not a good balance we find out. And I think as us, I think there's a very important aspect of design when it comes to SEO, when it comes to the user experience. Basically, I think it matters a lot. And I want to put some light. I want to take your perspective. What do you think? How important is web design? How important is the user experience design part when it comes to semantic SEO, or maybe AI SEO? What is the design part? Tell me about it.
Okay, it's a huge part. Okay, and I can tell you for the last year, it is even more important, because with AI and content creation with AI, Google needs to crawl a tremendous amount of new information happen hourly. So they say, let's say that we can evaluate the user rather than reading the content. They do read the content, but it's easier for them to evaluate the user behavior within the page. So they build like machine learning models to identify this thing. And if you saw the Google leak, they have specific things that called long clicks, short clicks, and this kind of things that say it doesn't really mean that a short click, a short visit is bad, as long as the user is satisfied with got what he wanted from a page, and that doesn't come only from your website, it comes from similar website as well. Okay, so similar, I mean the same niche, the same sort of context. So they try to build like a machine learning model in order to identify how if your page is useful, of the user who is coming is good. And these are like metrics, like if the user is trying to manipulate the algorithm with a specific amount of clicks or within the test, and if the user is satisfied, long click is enough, short click is enough, and that's how it goes. So
wow,
these are metrics that comes to topics, comes to page level, and goes to the site level as well. So
okay,
you cannot really be sure what works on your site, on your niche, unless you have like 200, like 20 websites, so you can identify this kind of behavior. Again, this is difficult things for an average SEO, even for an advanced SEO to get right. So I would say try to make design work for the user, to see what is the purpose of why the visitor came to this page, and what did he actually perform. Did he fill in the form he's supposed to? How many of them did actually what we want? Okay. Then change it accordingly. Try to satisfy most of the users who are there. You can use like tools to watch the recording of the visit and try to identify the pain point. Even rage clicks, like, trying to click a button, try to click a link that actually is not there, or you think that it's pretty obvious. Most of us SEOs are advanced users, so we don't identify the basic users, what they really need, or what they behavior. So you can use like platforms like Yandex Metrica. I think they have a similar procedure to check the videos, or also Microsoft Clarity, although be a little bit careful with that because they inject the Bing ads code there. So it's kind of tricky how to remove that. But yeah, there are a lot of libraries to use them and get videos, recordings of users and how you evaluate. Even the best thing you can do is like hire a UX designer, and once you hire a UX designer, that will significantly improve, because they have data of how people react on different patterns. I would say, yeah, that's why I say this is expensive. It's not a cheap framework to work on. A lot of people should get involved. Again, if you start with the speed of the website, I'm not talking about CLS and Core Web Vitals and everything, things like this, but how the informational retrieval happens to your website, how quick it is for Google to actually crawl your website. It takes time. It maybe gets crawled, but what algorithms are really run on the crawls later is kind of important. And when. It took me like 18 months to understand that if you have multilingual content, you should update everything together. Let's say this week I will update all the German pages. Next month I will do the Italian. Next month I will do the French. It doesn't work that way. Because if you consider the audience, the topics and the audience is the same. Okay, so if people are coming searching for a topic, they may come from different versions, from different countries, from different locales. So you should cover them all together. Also, if you update your website, if you update pages, unless this is like symmetrical, you will have contradicting information. Okay, so this you need to do it all together. Also, translation should not be symmetrical. I said symmetrical in terms of information, the numbers and the facts and all these kind of things that need to be consistent. But a topical map in different language should change because people from different countries behave differently to the search engine, to the search volume. Okay. And that should also be printed on the topical map of another language.
So this is something people really need to know. Thank you. Thank you for this. Everything should be done all together. It's a very simple thing to understand, but it's a very it is coming from an experience, I believe. Like we can I've been seen our clients to be a little lazy, that we've done that update in the English version, we'll do the Arabic version later on. I have a lot of clients from UAE, so that's the context I'm talking about. So but I think that that has to be done all together. That is a very important aspect of it. If we are updating a page, going back and updating the last point we had, why not we, if it's a multilingual website, why are we leaving back behind the Arabic version of it? We have to do it the right time, at the same time. I think it's a common sense thing, right?
It is a common sense. Okay, I'm saying that in terms of let's say for allocation. Okay.
Okay.
If you consider that in topics, for example, in UA, you may have some seasonality things that may not be in India or may not be in Europe.
Okay.
Seasonality things should be different. I mean, updating 6 weeks before the seasonality hype, that's kind of a thing. You don't really need to change the Indian version of this thing.
So this is a very good clarity. This is I think, thank you for correcting me here. So and this is again also making sense. Like if there's monsoon right now in India, so we need to, if we are talking about, so we obviously we'll change the page according to whatever the seasonality over here in India, not in UAE, because the weather is summers there, right? Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yearly seasonality is also important because once you know that the search demand will improve at this period, you know that next year you should update the whole cluster, the whole topics on the website that talk about that. You should update 6 weeks before the actual search demand improves.
That's amazing to know. I'll just highlight the clip as well. Yeah, I'm actually learning. I see this much notes I've filled already. Actually, this is very good way to learn. This is a hack. If I tell you to teach me semantic SEO, you would charge hell lot of money I could not pay. So this is the best way to get it done.
Look, the thing is, I don't charge for training. I do what I do recently, and I really believe in that. It's like I could do joint venture with promising SEO. Like I will teach you stuff, and we do a joint venture where you handle the clients, you handle every the process, you learn how to handle these kind of things, and I get a cut from it. Like this is what I do with a lot of people within the community, and I think this way everybody earns. The client earns because they get like significant value. The SEO, the new SEO gets a lot of experience from how to talk with the client and how to set the right boundaries of the client and SEO or like contract. If there are two SEOs involved in a project, that means the potential growth is
much
really
more.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think over here is one is, like for example, if a junior is learning from you and they're handling, if there's a hierarchy, like there are two SEOs, but it's not an opposing thought. One is understanding the other's perspective and then working. So if there's hierarchy to this, I think in your model, it is making more sense. It is much more better than having two different thoughts. Like I say go north, you say go south. So I think this is the better approach, what you just said. Like in joint venture, if you are the one giving the command that this is how it is to be done, the second one has his own opinion, but you discuss, you make it better, you make the thought better, and then you follow chain of command which is coming from your side, and then it is followed, and
And
then the results are given. I think that's a very good model, actually.
important thing here is that you need to match us personalities with the other SEO. Okay.
Correct.
You need to have a specific mentality of how we approach that.
So I'll also mark this, like if anybody wants to work with Harry, so this is the right way. You understand this, you watch this bit, you understand this bit, and they can outreach to you. Why not, right?
Okay, I have limited capacity in every possible way. I work like 18 hours a day, so yeah.
Yes.
So 7 days a week as well. So yeah, there needs to be something really significant and that I get value of it. For example, a technical SEO would come to me and say, okay, let's work on this project together. Pitch me something really good that have the client, because I don't want, I hate talking with clients that, again, trying to educate the client. Okay. So we need this kind of energy between all the parties involved. Okay. We need to find the writers to work on the project, and we need specific things to work, like who is be the project manager, let's call it, if the project is really large and we need specific stuff. It's not all about the money at this kind of processes, right?
True. Thank you for sticking till the end of the conversation with us. We hope you found as much value as we did while creating it. If you enjoyed the podcast and want us to bring more such influential guests, then please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Honestly, each like and subscribe help us keep going. It keeps us motivated to make such content which is filled with insights and strategies for you. If you enjoyed the podcast and want us to bring more such influential guests, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Honestly, each like or a subscribe help us keep going and make such content which is filled with insights and valuable knowledge for you. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Anything you would like to tell us about the podcast? Whom do you want to see in the next podcast? And what kind of questions do you want to ask? And hey, just don't keep the conversation with yourself. Share this podcast with at least one person, can be a friend, colleague, or a family member, or anyone you think can benefit from learning something valuable or getting a fresh perspective. After all, one conversation, one perspective can truly change someone's life. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode of the Business Playbook by Gundeep.